स्टेनो टाइपिंग कॉलेज में आप सभी का स्वागत है बच्चों। जो बच्चे बिल्कुल शुरू से पढ़ना चाहते हैं, जो शॉर्ट हैंड बिल्कुल नहीं आती है और गवर्नमेंट जॉब तक जाना चाहते हैं, उनके लिए इंग्लिश स्टेनो बेसिक टू गवर्नमेंट जॉब, ये वेबसाइट और मोबाइल ऐप के ऊपर दोनों के ऊपर कोर्स अवेलेबल है। इसी से सारे बच्चे पढ़ते हैं। बेसिक आपको करना है पिटमैन पॉकेट बुक वाला, तो उसकी फ़ीस 2500 रुपये, वो भी मोबाइल ऐप पर और वेबसाइट पर अवेलेबल है। ये जो डिक्टेशन में बोलता हूँ, ये खाली जैसे मतलब जो बच्चे बेसिक ओरखा और डिक्टेशन लिखना चाहते हैं उनके लिए फ़ीस है 500 रुपये मंथली, वेबसाइट के ऊपर और मोबाइल ऐप के ऊपर। तो अब डिक्टेशन पढ़ी जाएगी, अनसीन डिक्टेशन नंबर 128। इस डिक्टेशन की स्पीड रहेगी 80। डिक्टेशन स्टार्ट आफ्टर 5 सेकेंड। Sir, about the many steps which the ministry has taken to improve the foreign trade, mention of one would be enough to show that they are keen on foreign trade. The import of raw materials on a substantial scale is a very good thing, and they have decided to create a bank of raw materials in the country from which the exporters may draw. This is a welcome feature, and I think this scheme would be used in a proper way so that the real benefits may come to the country. We are talking about state trading in many respects, and the government says that they are trying their best to bring in many commodities for state trading. This is a very welcome feature, but before they go on increasing the ambit of state trading, they should see that the present commitment so far as state trading is concerned is properly kept in view and implemented. I see that what is regarded as state trading is not really state trading. What the STC does is just to contact some private exporters who have orders from foreign countries, charge 1% commission, and allow them to export. This is not state trading in any sense unless you want to juggle in more and more commodities under the STC, but this is hardly the true concept that we have of the STC doing export business. So the STC and MMTC as well as other bodies follow in regard to foreign trade, so that they do not act in collusion with the private sector, that there is genuine state trading, and all the good that can result from state trading should really come, and They should not act as mere agents of the private sector by charging 1% commission. This is a serious matter because we are committed to bring in more and more commodities in state trading. But the present performance of the STC and other bodies is most unsatisfactory, and unless that performance is improved, it is no use our talking about state trading in a big way. So, I hope some attention would be paid to this. About the textile industry, it is one of the industries that this ministry is concerned with. It is a very old industry, but an industry which is now languishing. There are various causes for this, and the attempts the government is making to resuscitate the industry are very praiseworthy, but they are no inadequate. Here again, one cannot but blame the private sector for the misery of this industry. This old, well established industry was allowed to run down row. No replenishment was done, no modernization was effected, but all the profits out of this industry was sucked and invested in other sectors. This is the position now because of the past practice of the private sector. Sir, this particular ministry, which is a remnant of the old ministry, deals with two items. One is export and the other is import. I am extremely surprised that a handbook which is called a report, which has been circulated to all members of parliament as an authentic document of the Ministry of Foreign Trade, only goes on to say that it is only meant to tackle the exports and it has nothing to do with the imports. They have totally forgotten about the imports when they say in the second paragraph what the ministry is meant for. I do not know whether it is intentional or it is ignorance on the part of the officials of the ministry who have dealt with this subject. I had the impression that foreign trade included both exports and imports, and if the official who has drafted this report has the impression that the ministry has only to deal with the exports, he is further eroding into the powers of his on minister. I thought the Prime Minister was the only person who could erode into it. I do not know why a petty official in Ministry of the Foreign Trade is allowed to erode into his powers and authority. Sir, the essential requisites for building up foreign markets are very much lacking in the Foreign Trade Ministry. That is because they have handed over almost 50% of their affairs to the public sector undertakings, and they have totally forgotten about the imports. Now there are so many public sector undertakings that I do not care to count them even. Of course, when talking about this sense of nationalism or sense of patriotism and sense of involvement, I would definitely indicate that some of the private sector people are doing great injustice to the name of India and to foreign trade by under invoicing and over invoicing. Whenever there is something wrong anywhere, I always say it. I am not dogmatic like some of my socialist friends. Sir, it is not only the private sector people who are indulging in under invoicing and over invoicing, it is also the public sector officials who are very much involved in over invoicing and under invoicing. If the Honorable Minister can give an assurance that he would set up a parliamentary committee that will have all the powers, and in case something was not forthcoming from the ministry could have taken to task for that on the floor of the House. In that case, I would try my best to place before the committee whatever information is available with me, but he has to give such an assurance that he would set up a parliamentary committee to probe into all these things. Even a committee of High Court judges which would create a scare the ministry and its officials. What I intend to say is that a probe is necessary. वेबसाइट के ऊपर इसको लगा दिया गया है, पहले इसको अच्छे से पढ़ें फिर इसको टाइप कर दें। मोबाइल ऐप के द्वारा भी आप इसको टाइप कर सकते हैं और लैपटॉप के माध्यम से तो आप वेबसाइट पे जाके टाइप कर ही सकते हैं। इस क्लास में इतना ही बच्चों, नमस्कार बच्चों।